Hi boys and girls. Today we're talking about safety on Rascal. And we're going to be setting up the kids' life jackets, which Hannah is modeling here. These are Crew Saver Crew Fit 150 inflatable life jackets that we had to import from the UK because for some reason you can't buy them in the US. But they fit kids and they're comfortable. You got to stand up and model. Not too big, comfy to wear, and has a ring here that you can use to tie yourself onto the boat. And we're going to add some additional accessories today. What we're going to add, this is called an MOB1, also from the UK, from a company called Ocean Signal. And this does a few things. It has a GPS receiver, so it knows its location. It's got a DSC radio that's going to communicate with our radios here on the boat and let us know that there's an emergency. And it's also got an AIS transmitter that's going to show us its location on our chart plotter so that we'll know where Rascal is and we'll know where our person in the water has gone. So first we're going to test our DSC radio function. Hold down the test button. Red, on red, go. Whoa, you can see our radios are saying Hannah overboard. So that would alert us to someone in the water.
So next we're going to test the AIS function, which stands for Automatic Identification System. And Kevin stepped a little bit away from the boat just to make sure that it popped up on the screen separate from Rascal. So we come back in and look on our chart plotter. Okay, where you see Hannah on here, Hannah MOB, that means Hannah Man Overboard. And then you can click on her position and then click intercept, and then it will track her position. Through our process in setting up these MOBs, we learned that our main radio, which is inside the navigation station, is not accepting what they call the DSC signal, so we have to get a new main radio for inside. But our handhelds still work. Yeah, boo.
So we're going to add some accessories to the kids' life jackets. This one's Hannah's, which you can see she's colored purple. We already tied on some rigging knives that are in here. We open this up, and in here is a knife that you can use to cut through rigging or ropes or anything else in an emergency. And we made a little lanyard here so that if you drop it while you're in the water, you don't lose it. And we mentioned before, there's a ring here that we're going to tie into harnesses that will be attached to the boat. We've got some extreme close-ups.
People want to see what things look like. You can't tell when it's this big on the screen.
And these are inflatable life jackets, which means if you fall in the water, water will come up inside here and dissolve a little thing that releases a spring that pierces a CO2 canister that inflates the life jacket. And you can also do it manually by pulling on this string if for some reason it didn't inflate itself. So please don't pull this just for fun. So what we're going to do now is look inside here, and we can do that by opening this zipper. And it's got some little areas here that are actually designed to break open when this thing inflates automatically. This yellow portion is protected by Velcro. So if we unzip this, around the back, there's another thing on the opposite side that opens itself when it inflates. And then you can see what's going on inside here. So on this side is the inflator mechanism. There's a CO2 canister here that has enough gas to inflate this bladder. That's this yellow part that's folded inside. And you can see it's got the manual activation if you pull this down. And it also down here allows water inside to dissolve a little, I think it's like a membrane that would also inflate, release the CO2 and inflate the life jacket. And you see it has two green indicators right here. That means that it's armed and ready to go. So something you want to check often is to make sure that these two indicators are both green, and that's why it has this clear window here on the front. So you can always check on this. So we're not going to do anything else on this side. On this side is where we're going to add our personal locator beacon. And I actually was in here earlier today and already added this. This is a strobe light that was graciously left by the previous owners of Rascal. I hooked it around the inflation tube here. If for some reason the CO2 system doesn't work, you can blow into this tube, just like you see on airline videos, and inflate your life jacket using this tube. And it's set up right here so that it's close to your mouth when you're in the water. And it's got a little protective cover on the top. There's also a whistle, this orange thing, so that you can try to signal the boat. And again, we've stuck this strobe light on here so that if you're in the water at night, you'd be easier to find. And what we're going to do next is attach your locator beacon in here as well, and then pack all this stuff in there so that it can be used automatically. So what we've done now, we've got our strobe light attached, we've got our whistle, and we've got our personal locator beacon. And the strap wraps around the yellow bladder that's going to inflate. And when it inflates, it's going to pull this gray slidey thingy off, and the antenna will come out and it'll start transmitting its emergency signal. So what we have to do at this point is arm it. And then there's a little cover that prevents it from going off accidentally while it's inside here, but still allows it to go off when the jacket is inflated. So all we should need to do at this point is close it back up.